Hero discount? No. Hero discount is not the same as Five Finger.
Oh, yes, lady in the back.
If we move to martial law and Hyrule, we won't have to worry about saving just one ditzy princess all the time. Therefore, we don't have to have her running around destroying everything.
Hey, they may be an incompetent royal line, but she's still the princess.
Oh, come on! Okay.
I would like to make a motion that this is all the second degree and that we charge Navi with all of these crimes because he's the one that is telling him what to do.
Hey, listen, hey, listen, Just because he's listening to a fairy voice in his head, the whole proving of insanity defense in the case of Link might not be so much.
Yes, I want to defend him on a plea of insanity.
Overruled. We played the game. We know that he had a choice to do what he did. And you always have a choice to press the mute button.
It's impossible to charge Navi since she wasn't always there. She's only there in one adventure of Link. She's never there in A Link to the Past or in any of the other games other than Ocarina of Time and the other fairy in Majora's Mask. So
Tattle.
most of those times were his own actions.
And I'd also like to point the fact that not every Hyrulean shopkeeper is indeed as thrifty, money-grubbing as you might think. Is not the first door you enter in the original Legends of Zelda, are you not greeted with, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this." You are given that sword. So this is not really a problem about the economy of Hyrule. This is more of either a question of greed or charity we're talking about. The society or the individual that commits it.
Or also about knowing what is best for the world or just best for themselves.
However, that doesn't mean that the free market itself can be suspended.
And I'd like to add that in Ocarina of Time, the shopkeepers actually give you your tunics. You don't have to buy them the first time around unless they get eaten.
Well, the other option is a naked Link, so I think I'd rather give him the tunics.
Well, he comes with the green one. You'll need to have the other two.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Lady over there?
I'd like to separate the abuse of chickens from the rest of the case, since that's really the only thing that you don't actually have to do.
But they were asking for it, I mean...
Well, basically what happens is if you're going to charge someone with everything this way, it avoids any cases of double jeopardy, and it just basically makes things simple and close.
Stupid sexy chickens.
Assuming he did attack the chickens would have already killed him by now.
That is actually possible, but you can have abusive chickens to the point before they snap.
Yeah, plausible, but the chickens would really have to organize. Ma'am.
Interjection. I do not want to make chicken sandwich after Link has had his way with me.
It adds flavor.
I think we should just go to Link for that.
In the back?
Wow.
In the back? Yes.
I would like to make a motion that all protagonists are heretofore exempt from the legal system, because how many times have you been controlling one of them on a genocidal killing spree of robbery, burglary, murder, and whatever else for the good of the land?
That's a little bit beyond the scope of this one case. We're dealing with Link, not every protagonist. Besides, in some cases you don't even have to take from anything from anyone. Look at Ico. Little guy to make it through just with just a stick and an invisible princess.
Okay, lady over there? Yes, you.
What about that one game where Link can steal a shovel from the shop, and every time he goes back in, the shopkeeper kills him?
Let's also keep in mind that there is a precedent for a justice system. Look at Chrono Trigger. You are judged on the actions of what you do during the fair, and if you are proven that you didn't take any of that crap or kick the cat or whatever, then you get off with just, a slap on the wrist, imprisonment, and somebody tries to kill you. But if you do actually take it, you get what's coming to you. That being said, I think we can probably call this one to a vote.
Yes.
All in favor of convicting Link for breaking and entering, vandalism, grave robbery, chicken molestation, and just being an apparent silent protagonist douchebag in general. Raise your hands if you approve to convict. All opposed to acquit? And it looks like he's convicted now. The fun part
shall be the punishment.
Yes. Fine for this one. Like I said, they would really have to organize. We'll leave that to the chickens. Other suggestions?
Yeah, there is actually one point in one of the games where if you hit a chicken enough, there's a giant, bull chicken or something that comes and attacks you, isn't that?
All in favor of bringing in the bull chicken?
Bull chicken it is.
Bull chicken. Link is hereby convicted and sentenced to bull chickening, which is the only time I'll ever be used bull chickening.
All right, so I guess you reach the next case, lady?
Yes.
Bull chickening.
I believe we should have a vampire rating system from Alucard as the best to Edward Cullen as the worst.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming there's support for this, but refresh my memory. Edward Cullen is the one from Twilight, or?
Yes.
They have an objection?
D would kill all of them easily.
D would.
No.
We're here to rate them, not to kill them. D can do whatever he wants, but for now, we at least need to classify him. No, gentlemen first.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, cool. It's much superior than the protagonist in Twilight. I mean, I never really read the book at all. Matter of fact, I never even heard of the Twilight series in existence until I was looking at a bookstore and I saw the cover of Twilight known as Breaking Dawn, which was one of the last books in the Twilight series. But to be honest with you, Alka is much superior than any vampire.
I'd like to state that I only know Edward Cullen's name to that much more accurately insult him.
I mean, our rating scale, is this a rating scale of fierceness, of coolness? What exactly are we rating?
Badassness.
Badassery. So it looks like the general consensus here is that this is a badassery rating. Let me ask you this. Why can vampires not fit onto the general badassery rating? Like you can have, from unbadass, Kentaro Urashima Love Hina, to total badass. You got your guts, you got your bash, you got Kamina. You know, I think it serves vampires better. As characters, as humans, well, as vampires, to be badass like anyone else and be judged on their badassery subjectively.
I more gauge it as sentient being badassery.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be sentient to be a badass. Look at those rocks on Moai Island, man. Those things are badass. They just sit there and they're looking all... They got it, man. They got it down.
I believe one reason that vampires should be subjected to different rating of badasseries because they automatically have badass points because they're vampires already.
Badassery.
Van Helsing doesn't really consider any of the vampires from Twilight to be vampires. Just people who put glitter on themselves.
Very true. Just being bigger on the neck does not make you a badass.
Also in the back?
I'd like to make a side motion to declare all of Twilight published fan fiction, and really bad fan fiction at that. It belongs to the
Objection. Wouldn't fan fiction indicate it had to be based on something? I mean, she's not writing fan fiction of anything. It's just really bad fiction.
Well, you can make fan fiction based on anything. You can make fan fiction based upon this.
It's just not fiction. I object to the abuse of the English language.
Listen, just because the book itself is a Mary Sue doesn't mean every single fanfic is even good. We understand that much. But still, though, we'll have to consider the badassery notion. We cannot separate vampires just by the fact that they are vampires. But they are dead. So are zombies. They're not too badass.
Well, within the general badassery scale, this could be a subset within the badassery scale, kind of like everything classifiable in the animal kingdom.
Second.
So badass becomes a phylum then.
That's correct.
Okay. What do you think? Really? All in favor of making vampire a new phylum on the badassery scale?
Hell yeah.
Wow. And all opposed? Like it matters? We like to give people the illusion of democracy here. The motion passes. Vampires are now a badass phylum.
So you raise your hand first, lady with goggles? Please come up.
Oh.
Not lady, no goggles. Sorry.